first time a key witness in that case is telling her story. Warren Jeffs was once one of the FBI's 10 most wanted for crimes he committed while leading the fundamentalist Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which practices polygamy. He was accused of abusing young women, forcing them into arranged marriages as young as age 12. But one woman who was once part of that church fought back and became one of the faces of the resistance, testifying against her former leader and opening the public's eyes to the plight of these women. Today, Rebecca Musser is speaking out. Her new book is The Witness Wore Red, the 19th wife who brought polygamist cult leaders to justice. Rebecca, good morning. Nice to have you with us.
Good morning. It's nice to be here.
That title, The 19th Wife, when you were 19 years old, you were the 19th wife of the 85-year-old leader of that sect in which you were raised. When you were told you had to marry that man, what was your reaction?
You know, in a society like this, what is normal, what is taught to the girls is that one day they will grow up and be found worthy to marry a good priested man, regardless of the age. Polygamy is taught, and it's called holy. And so on one hand, I knew it was my duty, but on the other hand, I was overwhelmed and horrified at what reality was facing.
And you were very young, too. I mean, this isn't, you grew up knowing that this was what you wanted to strive for, and yet there was so much about what a marriage entails, especially aspects of the wedding night that you knew nothing about, that young girls were not educated about. All throughout this, though, you had your reservations, it seems, in reading your book. Where did some of that doubt come from for you?
I think for as long as I can remember, there was some voice inside that just different things would come up. It would say, something's not right here. And I think everybody has that voice. As, you know, my life is, the details are different, but everybody has dealt with that. And so as time went on and I got older and more things happened, that voice just got louder and louder for me. And it came to the point where I could no longer silence that voice within. And it was either do or die.
And so you made the decision to leave, and just for background for people who may not be familiar with the story, you were married to this man who was known as the prophet. He dies. Essentially, your stepson, Warren Jeffs, kind of wants to marry you and tells you, I will break you.
Yes.
And at that point, you decide to run. That's a dangerous decision for someone in your position.
It was a terrifying decision for me because everything that I had ever known was on the line, besides my eternal salvation or my eternal damnation. And, you know, again, I think that everybody is faced with tremendously overwhelming circumstances where we have to make a choice. And in those moments, taking action on that choice, at that point in time, I thought my world was ending. And yet it was the threshold to the freedom that I enjoy. And I think that that's something that everyone can relate to.
You testified against him twice.
Yes.
Was it frightening for you?
Was it frightening?
Was it frightening at all?
It was in some regard, but there was also a part of me that knew that there were a number of young people that could not speak up for themselves, but I could. And so it was very important to do what I could to stop what was going on.
And do you believe you made a difference?
I do.
It's a fascinating read. Thanks for being with us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
Rebecca Musser. And the book, once again, is called The Witness Wore Red, the 19th wife who brought polygamist cult leaders to justice.